Hello, welcome to the Feminine Magnetism challenge that we are doing as I walk you day by day through my book. If you're wondering what book I'm talking about, the link to the book is also in the description. Okay, so those who are following along, thank you so much for sticking this out, and I hope that you are learning and growing and getting so much information out of these short snippets. Okay, so today is day number 12, and today is called No Doormat Zone. So I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to go ahead and read the quote as I always do. So it says, if they aren't treating you right, it's time to stop blaming them. Orlando, right? So we talked about the ego yesterday, which is all about playing the victim and acting like everyone is against you and you are in how the ego has you thinking, right? So people who are doormats are probably some of the biggest people in their ego. And you would think because they come off as meek and gentle and kind and stuff like that. But those type of people who are doormats usually are doormats to, in a nice way, exert control over other people, right? Because they have no control over themselves. So people who are, they like to play the martyr. People who are doormats like to play the martyr. And playing the martyr is being your ego because it's a form of seeking validation. You want people to be like, oh, she's so nice. Oh my gosh, she does all herself. And look at her. She's doing this for him and she's doing asking anything in return. Like you like playing the martyr. You like playing the victim, you know? So that feeds your ego. So there's different ways that people feed their ego. Here's the examples from yesterday. So the ego has very different forms, right? And being a doormat is a form of victimhood to manipulate others and get them to see you as a nice or good person. And not saying you are a good or a nice person, but that people to respect you or to notice you is to play the mousy, no voice victim. So someone does treat you good, your ego can feel like, oh well, you know what, that person did me so wrong and I'm such a good person, like I don't deserve this treatment. Turn, it's just like you're being a pick me with yourself, right? Like you um ego by proving to. So, and this is very much true. So in relationship, then she'll play like, oh, you know what, like, um, I won't say anything, like, I'll just let it go. And she'll continue to let it go and she'll continue to let it go. Until usually like a lot of things that happen with doormats, they end up exploding, right? So they get very angry about small things because they allow something small to fester. So when those things do blow up, they're like, I've been doing all this stuff for you. I've been ironing your clothes. I've been cooking for you. I've been doing X, Y, and Z. I'm such a good woman to you. And you never appreciated it, blah, 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 blah. All that type of stuff, right? Because their ego has been waiting for that moment to spill over and get the validation, get that feeling of like, I am better than you. I'm a better person than you are. You have been mistreating me, right? Now, does that mean that sometimes it's not appropriate? Like sometimes people have mistreated habitual way, people, right? If you're always a martyr, if you're always the one who's putting other people before you and then trying to I'm a good person because, I'm always putting other people first, right? Because that's unhealthy. Because you put other people, you take care of other people, but you're also supposed to take care of yourself. And you cannot take care of other people if you have nothing within yourself to give, right? So that's how you'll be a victim. So in order to get something back from people, you actually have to give them something and give them something first, right? So you want respect, you want admiration, you have to give those things to people first and then give it back to you. But if you're empty, then all you're going to be able to give people is victimhood, and you're not going to take accountability for your part in things, right? But I really wanted to talk, like I really love talking about not being a doormat, because it really is this terrible misconception. I don't know where it happened from, that women who are in their feminine energy are doormats and they're weak and they don't have a voice, right? So you do absolutely have a voice. You just don't have the masculine, aggressive, forward, or I tell it like it is type voice, or I want to be petty and all that other type of nonsense that keeps you your ego, and like I said yesterday, keeps you single. Um, So I want you to say that in no means, once again, being feminine does not advocate at all being a doormat, letting a man walk all over you, letting anyone walk all over you, right? You definitely do not do that, right? Um, so being a doormat, people who are doormats are people pleasers, right? And people pleasers are people in their ego because they're looking for validation from people, and they want people to say, "Oh my God, she's such a great person. Like she does this, and she puts everyone first." And you want people to constantly sing your praises, right? Those are people pleasers, right? People who are people pleasers, they may say, "Oh well, be a good person," but in the end of the day, like you can be a good person, you can do good for people without needing the constant validation, which is what people pleasers need. Right? They're afraid of being rejected by other people. Remember, I told you the ego doesn't like to be rejected, right? You're afraid of hurting other people's feelings. You care more about what other people than what you need, right? You're putting them first. Always, right? There are some times where it's good to put other people first and think about other people, but if you're always putting other people first and you're always thinking about other people and never thinking about yourself, you're playing the victim, you're playing the martyr, and you're in your ego, and you are most likely a people pleaser. So you constantly ignore your own needs, and you try and you know um, not step on any toes and go with the flow and ignore things that bother you, right? If your boundaries or standards, and usually doormats don't really even have any standards, but if they do, they're always ignored, and they're just like, okay, well, I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm just going to ignore this, and maybe he'll go away. Maybe he'll treat me better, right? If I don't upset. It's like, well, maybe if I don't upset him this time, things will be. It's not good. They ignore the red flags, they ignore the signs, and they believe that they can change the person. They believe they can change the man, or they believe that they have enough influence that if they just continue to be a good, nice person, that's not how anything works. You know what I'm saying? If things aren't going in the direction that you want them to, you have to make a change. You cannot allow yourself to be at the mercy of other people, especially the mercy of a man. Because when it comes to dating, a man is going to have his best interests at heart, right? So if things are comfortable and great for him, there's no incentive for him to change. But if things are not going the way you want to, and you think by just holding on and not saying anything and not trying to rock the boat, that eventually, he will come around and he will see things your way, then most likely things that it's not going to go years, and eventually he's just like, oh, might as well. And things, he may settle down with you, but usually in those situations you will learn over time that you really don't want someone to just settle for you based on time spent, or time passed, right? So really, doormats are women who put other people before them, but especially put men in their lives before them. And this is not talking about a man who's your fiance or your husband, but these are just like every single man you date or have any type of interaction with. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry, you're putting his wants first, and you are completely ignoring what as a form to try and manipulate him into seeing you as a certain type of person who he'll want to do more for him, right? And that never works. This is a tactic and a strategy that never works. And you're not authentic because you're not able to connect with who you actually are, right? You're playing this victim. You're playing this martyr. That's not who you are deep down inside, but you're playing this. And so a man is not, you're not authentic. You don't ignore things that you don't like, right? You're in the doormat if you do that. You speak up. You know what I'm saying? You speak from you tune into your heart. You speak from your feelings, and then you speak direct. Then you'll be speaking directly to his heart, and he'll be able to make that connection with you, right? So that is how you speak up for yourself. You put your needs first. If something isn't what you want, if you don't like the way things are, actually, you know, he will get the hint and he will change. You know what I'm saying? Like I stated, men, if something is comfortable for them, if things are going comfortable for them, then they're not going to change, right? If you want something to be different, you have to speak up and you have to take action for yourself. You have to put your needs first. If this man, your husband, then his needs do not come before yours. Your needs are first. So if what he's doing isn't meeting your needs, you need to back away. You need to lean back and put yourself first and get your needs met. Either you start meeting your own needs or you get your needs met elsewhere, right? You don't stick around. You don't play the victim. You don't play the martyr. You don't hope that everything will just work out if I just stick it out or if I just don't upset him, right? And this is even more true if you're in any type of abuse. Emotional abuse, physical abuse, you get out of there. You put yourself first. More so if you have children, you put them and you first, and you get out of situations where your needs are not getting met. Now, abuse is an example, but even if it's just you go away, you lean back, you get out of the situation, remove yourself from the situation, right? You can have a conversation and you can let him know how you feel about the situation. If nothing changes, then you back up, you back away, you remove yourself, and you continue. And then you start meeting your own needs. You start down and just hope and wish. This is all about the antidote for being a doormat is taking responsibility, taking accountability, getting out of your ego, getting out of that addiction to being the victim, to being the martyr, because it is an addiction. The ego will have you in this addiction of feeling like validation from being um, from being mistreated, really, because even though you're being mistreated, you feel like because you aren't doing anything wrong, you're being the good person here. Your right? I'm a good person, right? So your self-worth is tied to how much you suffer. That's not good, ladies. So definitely step away from that. So take responsibility. You know what I'm saying? If a man is mistreating you, if he isn't stepping up, yes, that's his own issue. That's his own conscience that he has to deal with. But it's also you for sticking around. Remove yourself. Take responsibility. Take accountability. Say, I don't deserve this. I deserve better than this. And I'm going to make a better situation for myself. Some situations eradicating it from your life. Other situations that mean you just lean all the way back. You focus on yourself. You focus on your children. You open yourself up to dating other men, right? You tune into your emotions and you do what feels good to you at every turn. You stop relying on him to fulfill you and you start fulfilling yourself. You start taking up hobbies. You know, you do a makeover, all those type of things. You start focusing on you and start seeing your worth in ways other than suffering for a quote unquote good cause, right? You start seeing your worth in other ways. And then that doormat mentality will slowly fade away as you can see that you have value outside of right. Because honestly, when you admit it to yourself, that doesn't feel good. I mean, it may feel good for you to be able to say, well, I know they did me wrong, but I'm a good person. But at the end of the day, who wants to constantly be walked over and mistreated? No one. Well, no one in their right mind, right? Gives you comfort and feeling like, well, even though people mistreat me, I'm a good person. I'm a good person. But you can be a good person all you want, but you're still not going to get your needs met. You're still not going to get the relationship you want because it's speaking up, not putting other men first, putting men first is being a nice girl. I don't know if you guys have read that book, Men Love Bitches, right? So that book is all about being the opposite of a doormat and why men respect women who are the opposite of a doormat. Men never respect women who are opposite of who are doormats. All they do is doormats are there for you to walk all over them. And that's what a man will do. He will continue to use you. He will continue to abuse you. He will take from you, and he'll never fill you up, and you'll always be empty. But at the end of the day, your ego will always be there to comfort you and say, well, you're a good person and they're evil. And yes, that may make you feel good in the moment, but you're still not getting the connection that you want. You're still lonely. You still are not moving forward, right? Because first you have to take accountability and responsibility and say, I am a because that's what I like. I like that. So when you stop liking that, when you stop like being the victim, right? You will attract men who will adore you and love and respect you. So ladies, don't let men walk all over you. Don't put men who are not your husband or your fiance before your own needs. Put yourself first. If you have children, put them. You're dating. They're doing what's best for them, right? And they are not thinking about if it's affecting you or not. Right? They are doing them, so you must do you. That's the only way to win in the dating game is to make sure that you are playing the game to win. And the only way to play the game to win is to make sure that you are putting yourself first. You feel good, you move away. You don't keep wishing and hoping and standing in the corner. You don't say, because I've invested so many times, let me continue this. You move away. You get some self-esteem of other things that will serve you best. And then that energy will become more and more attractive to um, who want to be at that higher vibration that you are. Remember when I spoke about vibrating higher? When you let go of the victim mentality, when you let go of all that type of stuff, you will start to vibrate higher, and you will attract men who also vibrate higher and at that level. So hopefully this video gave you guys some more insight about how being a doormat is absolutely not feminine and not something that you should strive to be, right? Because I really want to get that out there, because I feel like so many times when women first think about, well, I'm a straightforward person, blah, blah, and I want to be able to talk. There's a way to do it, not the way they're doing it, but there is a way to do it to get your needs met, or attempt to get your needs met, and say what you need to say. Hopefully this video gave you a little bit more insight to that, why being a doormat isn't helpful. So this is day number 12. I will see you on day number 13. Have a great day, ladies. Bye-bye.